Welcome to Transforming Higher Education with OER and Z-Degree initiatives. In this presentation, we will discuss and provide resources to define and identify open educational resources and Z-Degrees in higher education, outline the fundamental elements of authoring and implementing OERs from a faculty perspective, illustrate instructional design methods, speak to Century College's processes for creating engaging professional learning experiences, and we will touch on how we use data-informed processes for continuous improvement. I would like to start with a thank you to our presenters and contributors to this presentation and to our OER Z-Degree initiative at Century College in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, a member of Minnesota State. This is Michelle Schonecker, Director of the Center for Professional Development and Collaboration. As an administrator who supports our OER Z-Degree initiative, it is my pleasure to provide a brief opening and speak to the amazing work of our faculty, librarians, instructional designers, staff, and administrators at Century College and Minnesota State Colleges and Universities. Minnesota State and Century College defines a Z-Degree as a complete associate or bachelor's degree program that exclusively uses course materials that are at no cost to our students, such as open educational resources that are teaching, learning, and research materials openly licensed for use without cost to the user. Publicly available resources may include government or other databases, educational videos, or other materials that can legally be linked within a course at no cost to the student. Library curated materials include access to journals and other materials that are available through library subscriptions. Century College provides an AA degree as a Z-Degree, and the college continues to work closely with the Education Department in addition to other disciplines across liberal arts and our career and technical programs to offer entire majors and awards in a no-cost textbook format. To speak to how important we believe this initiative is to our higher education students, we have had over 10 Minnesota State colleges and universities join the initiative since the beginning. This means that over 2,000 courses and over 4,000 sections have been converted for the 126,000 students enrolled in those courses. Throughout Minnesota State, our 2024 reports show that it has a savings of over $12.6 million for our students. At Century College alone, we have saved our students over $1 million, and this number continues to grow in 2025. If you would like to learn more about the Minnesota State Z-Degree initiative, please navigate to the QR codes located in this slide to read the reports.
This is Jody Elliott, and I'm a faculty member of the Teacher Education Department at Century College. I'm excited to share my experiences and insights on incorporating OERs into our teacher education program. If you have any questions or comments after viewing this presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to continue the conversation. One of the most pressing and often overlooked challenges our students face is the rising cost of textbooks. As educators, we strive to remove barriers to student success, but sometimes those barriers aren't academic, they're financial. This concern led us to take a closer look at the real cost of course materials and what we could do to make a difference. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, textbook costs rose by 88% between 2006 and 2016. In response to the growing financial strain this placed on our students, our department made a deliberate shift to using open educational resources, or OERs. We had seen firsthand the burden that expensive textbooks imposed, and our transition to OERs has significantly reduced this challenge. By eliminating textbook costs, OERs have enabled students to concentrate more fully on their studies rather than worrying about financial barriers. Additionally, OERs provide immediate access to course materials from the first day of class, ensuring that students are well prepared and able to engage in content right away. While OERs offer many advantages, there are some drawbacks to consider. Instructors spend a significant amount of time locating high-quality, relevant materials that align with course objectives. Additionally, some OERs may not be fully accessible to students with disabilities or may present formatting issues across different devices, impacting usability. We also found that some students prefer traditional, printed textbooks, which they find more tangible and easier to annotate. These challenges highlight the importance of thoughtful implementation and continuous evaluation when integrating OERs into course design.
Hello, my name is Jody Cook and I use she, her pronouns. I teach in the Reading and Student Success and Teacher Education departments. I'm excited to talk about OERs today and look forward to any conversation around this topic. After using OERs for several years, we were recruited to try authoring our own OER. Through the Federal Department of Education's Open Textbook Pilot Program, Minnesota State, our statewide college and university system, applied and received grants to create 5 textbooks for the teacher education field. Small groups created learning outcomes, linked the learning outcomes to INTASC standards, or the national standards in teacher education, and then created the OER courses in the areas of Introduction to the Teaching Profession, Introduction to Special Education, Literacy Education, Educational Technology, and Human Diversity. We worked with instructional designers to transfer our work into press books. We are hoping for the books to be published this August.
Hello, my name is Christina Davis. I've been a faculty member at Century College, incorporating OER material into my courses for several years, most recently authoring an OER course for teacher education. Please see my contact information if you'd like to connect. Faculty was eager to learn about the student experience with OER content and included a couple different questions in our mid and end of semester course surveys. When asking students if they prefer a no-cost course text and materials over traditional hard copy textbooks, and if they found them easy to access and study from, the feedback was an overwhelming yes. In a mid-semester poll asking students, how easy was it to access the online course text, all students responded favorably with either extremely easy, had no trouble, or somewhat easy, sometimes I had difficulty, and no student reported that it was not easy or they could not or did not like reading online texts. Prior to using OER, I can easily recall the student experience of not being able to acquire the needed course textbooks to complete the first week's assignments, creating significantly more challenges. Guiding the process of our authoring was the ADDIE learning design. We used backward design as a structure for alignment, starting with developing our course outcomes based on our industry standards. Then we gathered and created summative assessments that would measure those course outcomes, and formative assessments that would give students immediate feedback on how well they're gaining knowledge toward the course objective. Our search for OER learning resources typically begins at our college library curated OER webpage, Opendora, our Min-State Systems digital archive for OER resources, and H5P for finding and creating interactive content. In choosing OER content, we look for resources that are customizable, offer multiple perspectives and diverse authors, culturally sensitive, and of course offer accessibility features. Our OERs range from a single OER chapter to an entire module that we can customize and remix so it aligns with our course objectives. Our assignments are renewable, most often providing students with options, ownership, real-world application, sharing, and lived experiences and perspectives. The goal is robust alignment in a learner-centered module design across the course objective, summative assessment, formative assessments, and rubrics, and the OER learning resources. This same alignment appears visually in our D2L module layout. The D2L Learning Outcomes tool can be attached to assessments for progress markers for students and instructors alike, as well as department, college, and/or system-wide evaluation, providing meaningful feedback and data for many purposes.
Our course design provides a consistent framework that supports easy and intuitive student navigation. Each of the course modules centers on a single standard of effective practice that will be assessed. To enhance accessibility and support manageable learning, each module is divided into weekly submodules that explore specific components of the standard in greater depth. This structured approach fosters deeper understanding and supports steady, progressive mastery of key concepts. Each submodule follows a consistent design to support student navigation and learning. It begins with an overview that introduces the topics covered and outlines the learning objectives. The key content section includes curated OER readings, videos, and interactive learning opportunities aligned with those objectives. Assignments offer students choice in how they demonstrate their understanding, accommodating diverse learning preferences. Finally, the deeper dive section reinforces and extends learning, encouraging deeper exploration and critical thinking around module content. The key content section of the submodule provides the required OER readings, videos, and learning activities aligned with the submodule's learning objectives. These curated learning opportunities are designed to be accessible and inclusive, supporting the diverse needs of all learners and promoting equitable engagement with the course material. Assignments in each submodule are designed using the Universal Design for Learning framework, providing students with multiple options for demonstrating their understanding of module content. This approach supports diverse learning styles and promotes student autonomy. Clear assignment rubrics outline grading criteria, helping students focus on essential concepts and expectations while ensuring transparency and consistency in evaluation. The deeper dive is an optional section of the submodule that aims to foster curiosity and cultivate a love for learning by encouraging students to explore content more thoroughly. Deeper learning helps students move beyond surface-level understanding, promoting critical thinking and problem-solving skills. It also nurtures the mindset of lifelong learning, where students continuously seek new knowledge and skills beyond the classroom. When students are actively engaged in meaningful learning experiences, their motivation increases, resulting in improved learning outcomes and long-term academic growth.
To enhance our courses, we have used H5P to implement interactive items for students. We have used H5Ps as simple as the dialogue cards seen here to help students learn vocabulary, to even creating a full module in an interactive book. Our goal with H5P is to create fun, interactive features for students that we, instructors, can use for quick and easy formative assessments. For instance, after a set of vocabulary words and dialogue cards, we may have students take an H5P drag and drop that allows students to match the word to its definition. For a summative assessment, we could have students create their own glossary for the course using their own images and definitions.
The Education Department has long prioritized the collection and use of student data to support continuous improvement, demonstrating program effectiveness and guiding future program design. Currently, our program is in the early stages of exploring Brightspace's new learning outcomes tool. By implementing this tool, we aim to identify areas where students may need additional support or where our curriculum can be refined, ensuring alignment with program goals and maximizing student success. We are excited about the potential of the learning outcomes data to positively impact student learning and further strengthen the quality and effectiveness of our program.
Faculty support and engagement continues to be one of our top priorities at Century College. We have a wonderful support system made up of librarians, instructional designers, faculty mentors, staff, and administrators. Exploring funding options for faculty stipends and release credits is always on my mind as I think about sustaining and expanding this important initiative. We provide year-round professional learning experiences and support. We just finished a week-long summer workshop where faculty attended online sessions and were provided one-to-one and group support. On the last day, we all came together for one last in-person support session and celebrated this week's accomplishments and discussed those of the future. Century College is committed to sustaining and expanding our OER and Z degree initiative for our students. This takes a concerted effort across our Century College community to engage in data-informed processes for continuous improvement. Collaboration between faculty, staff, and administrators is key to ensure OER is added in the course notes and the courses are coded correctly as OER and no cost for textbooks. This means working closely with our bookstore, librarians, faculty, program directors, department chairs, academic deans, and administrative assistants. In addition, we create bookmarks for our advisors to hand out to our students, which is not only a great marketing technique, but also reinforces the partnerships between our OER Z degree work group and our advising and counseling department. Faculty and student surveys at a course level and institutional level is also important for our continuous improvement and promotion efforts. Both faculty and student surveys assist us in collecting the important qualitative and quantitative data to help us maintain the processes that are working well and revise the areas where we see opportunities in. Once again, this is why collaboration is a key element in sustaining and expanding our initiative. As a data-informed college, we watch our numbers very closely as we continue and improve all functions of the OER Z degree initiative. This includes faculty monitoring their course level data and seeing higher pass rates, higher student retention rates, and increased student engagement. We already are showing an increase in savings to our students. At an institutional level, our mission is to see a correlation between OER Z degree initiative and increased enrollment, higher pass rates, improved student retention rates, a decrease in student debt, and higher graduation rates. Whether you're just starting to explore OERs and Z degrees, or you're in the expansion stages, there are fundamental elements to keep in mind. Stay in the loop of continuous improvement with data-informed methods, keeping access and affordability at the forefront. Explore all funding options such as grants, federal earmarks, and private investors, in addition to reaching out to your legislator. Note that this not only promotes access and affordability, but will also decrease student debt and decrease the need for federal and state student aid for those pricey textbooks. Keep in mind the importance of tracking and reporting, access and accessibility, and the academic technologies such as D2L for course design, Ally for accessibility, and other technology that promotes regular and substantive interaction and student engagement. For example, H5P and Perusal. Collaboration across all departments and external partners continues to be key, along with supporting faculty through professional learning experiences with assistance from librarians, mentors, instructional designers, and our OER Z degree champions, as we call them at Century College. As I continue to connect with others at the state and national level, I foresee OER and Z degree initiatives growing, and my wish is to see you join us to transform higher education with OER and Z degree initiatives. Thank you for joining us, and we welcome your feedback. Please feel free to scan the QR code located on this slide to access a short survey. The following slides will provide access to resources referenced in this presentation and a video created by Minnesota State Colleges and Universities with an overview of the Z degree project.